you ever walked into a place you've never visited before and suddenly felt absolutely certain you've been there? Not just that it looked familiar, but that every single detail. The sound of someone's voice, the way the light hit the wall, the exact conversation happening around you felt like it had already happened. For a few strange seconds, it feels as though you're reliving a memory. Then, just as quickly as it appeared, the feeling disappears, leaving behind one question: how is that possible? You've never been there. You've never met those people. So why does your brain insist that you've already lived that exact moment? This strange experience has a name: déjà vu, a French phrase that simply means already seen. Nearly 2 out of every 3 people will experience déjà vu at least once in their lifetime. Some experience it only a handful of times. Others experience it every few months. Yet despite how common it is, scientists still don't have one single explanation. For centuries, people believed déjà vu was something supernatural. Some thought it was proof of reincarnation. Others believed it was a glimpse into a past life. Some even claimed it was evidence that the future had already been written. And for a brief moment, your mind remembered it before it happened. Today, theories have changed, but the mystery remains. To understand déjà vu, we first need to understand how memory actually works. Most people imagine memory as a giant video library stored inside the brain. Every experience is recorded, every moment is saved. And whenever you need it, your brain simply presses play. But that's not how memory works. Your brain is constantly rebuilding memories instead of replaying them. Every sight, every sound, every smell passes through different parts of the brain before becoming something you can remember. Normally, this entire process happens so quickly that you never notice it. But what if, for just a tiny fraction of a second, something went slightly wrong? One of the most popular scientific theories suggests that déjà vu happens because your brain accidentally processes the same moment twice. Imagine reading the same sentence 2 times without realizing it. The second time, it feels familiar. Now imagine your brain doing exactly that. One signal arrives a tiny fraction of a second before another. By the time the second signal reaches your conscious mind, your brain mistakenly believes it's already seen the first one. Suddenly, a completely new experience feels like an old memory, and all of this happens in less than a second. Another theory is just as fascinating. Scientists believe your brain is constantly comparing your current surroundings with fragments of old memories. Not complete memories, tiny pieces of old memories, the shape of a room, the smell of rain, a certain voice, the way sunlight enters through a window. Even if you've never been in that exact place before, your brain may recognize dozens of small details from completely different experiences. When enough of those pieces match, your brain creates an overwhelming feeling of familiarity, almost like solving a puzzle without realizing it. But here's where the mystery becomes even stranger. People between the ages of about 15 and 30 report déjà vu more often than anyone else. As we grow older, the experience usually becomes less common. Why? Nobody knows for certain. Some researchers believe younger brains process new information faster. Others think stress, lack of sleep, and fatigue make these memory glitches more likely. And that brings us to another surprising discovery. People who travel frequently or experience many new places often report déjà vu more than those who follow the same routine every day. The more new experiences your brain processes, the more opportunities there may be for these strange moments of familiarity to occur. But then, scientists discovered something that changed everything. There are people who experience déjà vu far more often than normal. Not once a month, not once a week. Sometimes, several times a day. And studying them has revealed clues that may finally explain one of the brain's greatest mysteries. Doctors first noticed something unusual while treating certain patients with temporal lobe epilepsy just before a seizure began. Many described an overwhelming feeling of déjà vu, not ordinary familiarity. but an almost impossible certainty that every second unfolding around them had already happened. For neurologists, this was a breakthrough. Brain scans revealed that the temporal lobe, especially an area called the hippocampus, which plays a major role in memory, was becoming unusually active. This suggested that déjà vu wasn't coming from the outside world. It was being created inside the brain itself. The discovery gave scientists one of their strongest clues yet. Déjà vu may be a brief communication error between the brain's memory system and its perception system. Imagine your brain as two incredibly fast computers working together. One records what's happening right now, the other checks whether you've experienced something similar before. Most of the time, they work perfectly, but every once in a while, the familiarity system reacts a split second too early. Your brain labels a brand new experience as an old memory, and suddenly, reality feels strangely familiar. Another fascinating theory suggests that your brain is constantly predicting what will happen next. Every second of every day, it builds models of the world around you. It predicts conversations, predicts moments, predicts sounds, predicts facial expressions. Usually, these predictions happen without you noticing. But if your brain's prediction is almost perfectly accurate, it may briefly confuse that prediction with an actual memory. Instead of thinking, "I expected this to happen," your brain mistakenly concludes, "I remember this happening." That tiny misunderstanding could be enough to create the strange feeling we call déjà vu. Of course, not everyone accepts these scientific explanations. For centuries, people have offered their own ideas. Some believe déjà vu is evidence of reincarnation, a forgotten memory from a previous life. Others think it's proof that parallel universes exist. Perhaps another version of you has already lived this exact moment. Some even compare it to a glitch in the matrix, a tiny mistake in reality itself. These ideas are fascinating. They've inspired books, movies, and endless discussions. But so far, there is no reliable scientific evidence supporting them. Science doesn't reject these ideas because they're imaginative. It simply requires evidence before accepting extraordinary claims. And at the moment, the strongest evidence points back to the brain. Yet, one mystery still remains. If scientists understand the brain so well, why hasn't déjà vu been fully explained? The answer is surprisingly simple, because it happens so quickly. Most episodes last only a few seconds. By the time researchers try to study them, they're already over, unlike a broken bone or a blood test. Déjà vu can't be easily captured in a laboratory. Scientists often have to rely on people's descriptions of what they felt. And human memories are far from perfect. Ironically, a phenomenon about memory is incredibly difficult to study because memory itself is unreliable. Perhaps that's why déjà vu continues to fascinate us. It reminds us that the human brain is still filled with mysteries. Despite everything we've learned about neuroscience, despite powerful brain scanners and decades of research, there are still moments when our own minds surprise us. So, the next time you experience déjà vu, don't be afraid. Your brain isn't predicting the future, and you're probably not reliving a forgotten life. Most likely, you're witnessing one of the brain's rarest and most fascinating quirks. A tiny moment when memory and perception briefly become confused. It lasts only a few seconds. But those few seconds have inspired centuries of mystery. Maybe one day, scientists will uncover exactly why it happens. Until then, déjà vu remains a reminder that the greatest mystery we carry isn't hidden in space or beneath the ocean. It's the incredible 3-pound universe inside our own heads. And perhaps that's why it feels so unforgettable. Even when we can't explain why we felt it before.